Many people approach The Tempest expecting a cozy, magical, tropical fairy tale set on an isolated island. The actual text is much darker. It operates as a complex study of colonialism, power dynamics, and human manipulation. Because this is Shakespeare's final solo play, it acts as a literary Rorschach-test. Directors have interpreted the exact same words wildly differently across centuries. That creates a problem. Depending on which version you choose, you are committing anywhere from 2 to 15 hours of your time. Pick the wrong medium, and you will end up frustrated, completely missing your personal goals for engaging with the story. The central challenge is no longer deciding whether to experience the play. The challenge is strategically choosing how to allocate your time based on your specific endgame. To filter through the overwhelming volume of adaptations, we can break your options down into 3 specific pathways. The first is the academic mastery route. This is designed for students who need to pass exams or write detailed analytical papers. The second is the visual spectacle route. This caters to theater and film enthusiasts seeking visceral entertainment. The third is the literary escapism route, built for modern readers looking for magical aesthetics without wrestling with Elizabethan English. Choosing a path requires a mandatory trade-off. You must prioritize textual purity, visual spectacle, or thematic modernism. You cannot have all 3. If you choose the academic route, your required input is reading the original 1611 text while analyzing real-world Jacobean history, specifically William Strachey's account of the Jamestown shipwreck. By doing this, you achieve absolute mastery over the core colonizer versus colonizer dynamic between Prospero and Caliban. You also gain a highly nuanced understanding of the psychological themes of loss, forgiveness, and revenge. This ties directly into the philosophical context of the era, allowing you to connect the text to Michel de Montaigne's essays on the noble savage. The trade-off is immense cognitive effort. This path requires 5+ hours of active learning and strict attention to decode archaic language. While this route guarantees foundational mastery of the material, it functions purely as an active learning task. It entirely sacrifices passive entertainment value. If we move to visual adaptations, the core text is manipulated to prioritize immediate stage or screen spectacle. Take the 2016 Royal Shakespeare Company production. They partnered with Intel to use live performance capture, projecting a massive hologram of the spirit Ariel right on stage. That heavy reliance on technology carries a cost. The digital effects easily distract from the raw, emotional performances of the actors. On screen, Julie Taymor's 2010 film adaptation gender swaps the lead role to a female protagonist named Prospero. Shifting the lead to a mother figure successfully introduces complex new layers to the text, changing the dynamic from patriarchal authority to maternal protection. However, the film struggles with structural messiness and pacing issues, resulting in highly mixed critical reception. You can also find the story in avant-garde sci-fi. The 1956 cult classic Forbidden Planet isolates the play's structure and moves it to deep space. Film and modern stage adaptations offer visceral magic, provided you are willing to sacrifice the strict accuracy and nuance of Shakespeare's original plot. Modern novelists take a completely different approach. They extract the Prospero archetype, the isolated, powerful controller, and build new worlds to explore highly specific power dynamics. H.G. Wells uses this in The Island of Dr. Moreau. Moreau, turning the archetype into a mad scientist to test the limits of scientific ethics. In Mama Day, Gloria Naylor reframes the island's magic entirely around matriarchal power and historical healing. And Hanya Yanagihara's The People in the Trees constructs a deeply toxic, psychological version of the Prospero figure. Reading these requires a 10 to 15-hour commitment. You get a rich narrative, but you completely lose the bard's poetry and the specific arc of reconciliation. Modern retellings are an excellent way to explore thematic resonance, like isolation and power, in an accessible format, as long as you don't care about Elizabethan accuracy. The best version of this play depends on your desired return on investment. Let's map out the exact path you should take. For students and purists, read the text, focus heavily on the Montaigne essays, and strictly avoid avant-garde films to keep your thesis clear. For spectacle seekers, watch the 2016 RSC production or Forbidden Planet and avoid dense literary reimaginings entirely. For readers averse to Elizabethan English, read Mama Day or The People in the Trees for deep dives into power dynamics. The Tempest functions as an operating system for exploring power. You simply have to choose the interface that works best for you.